finished asking Coach about this, but I wonder how much you've grown just in the past 2 weeks getting to play tight ends like Nesbitt against UNC and then Koziel against Ball State.
Yeah, I've grown a lot as a player. Being able to go against guys like that, it has definitely improved my game. And also just being able to play against those guys, it also improved my knowledge of the game too, just knowing how to play those guys. So over the past 2 weeks, I've improved a lot.
I'm curious, how do you kind of use maybe your lack of height to an advantage, or how do you kind of work on playing tight ends that are as tall as 6'7"?
Just making sure I beat them to the spot. I'm faster than most bigger guys. So just making sure I beat them to the spot, knowing what they're going to do off of just film study. So beating them to the spot definitely has played an advantage in my game.
Coach Hemphill said after the UNC game that there was something in you that you weren't happy with some of the way you performed, but he said he could really kind of see that dog in your eye. What is it like to have that mentality, and what goes into creating it?
Just the team as a whole just has put that confidence in me. They're always a support system behind me, and I'm always critical of myself. Even right after the game, I enjoy the win, but I'm right on myself, like what can I do better to help this team improve? So just having that dog mentality of knowing what I got to be better at so I can help my team improve as a whole.
How important is it to have that mindset at this level?
It's very important because everybody has that mindset in my eyes on this team and on the other team. So if you don't have that mentality, somebody else is going to show you that they have that mentality.
I think you guys are plus 10 in the turnover margin through 4 games. Just how important is it taking away the football?
It's very important. We strive for that, even running after the ball, just getting after the ball as a whole defense. We strive to turn over teams and just prevent points as well. So turning over the ball is big in our defense.
Talk about your interception this weekend, tipping in and kind of getting to it first and getting the interception.
It was big. It's definitely an unreal feeling, especially being able to have my first interception in front of a home crowd. It's a blessing. So, but also having the guys around me, knowing what they're doing, so I can make my job easier. It's definitely a blessing.
Both you and KJ are two of the youngest guys that are playing on the entire team, and you're both playing nickel. I'm curious if you picked up anything from him, or do you think you kind of take him under your wing a little bit?
KJ has definitely taught me to have a little bit more fun with it, especially me being a sophomore, my first time starting, first time playing in front of these college fans. I've definitely been hard on myself, but KJ Flo has definitely told me to have fun with it, and then I'm helping him as well, just knowing the knowledge of the game. I was behind 2 seniors last season, so I've definitely picked up some stuff from them last year, so just passing that knowledge down to improve both of our games has definitely been what it is.
And then looking ahead to this week, ULM has maybe caught some people by surprise with what they've been able to do. What have you guys been able to see out of them so far?
Say it again, I'm sorry.
What have you guys been able to see out of ULM so far?
ULM is definitely a good team. We can't underestimate nobody. So going into this game, we have the same mindset as we did playing UNC or Ball State. So just going into this game with the same mindset, knowing what we have to do and what we got to get done.
And I've got to ask you about Coach Hemphill. I mean, he had, like Katie said earlier, some pretty kind words about just your mindset and your mentality. How much do you like Hemphill, and do you feel like he fits into the mold of JMU's brand?
Oh, most definitely. He definitely motivates everybody on this team, not just me. The mindset he takes to practice and games definitely reflect on the guys and how we play as a defense. You could tell the defense flying around, and that just starts with Coach Hemphill.
I think ULM went through it a handful of times last week at Troy. Particularly as a safety, how does that kind of change the game for you guys and the scout and everything, and maybe not getting lured to sleep?
Yeah, it's definitely going to take a lot of film study this week, knowing what they do in the run, but also knowing what they're going to do in the pass, knowing what formation they run those, luring you to sleep and then throw it over your head. So it's going to take a whole lot of film study to know what they're doing overall.
Yeah, so what are some of the problems that Mod Hardy's going to present for you guys on Saturday? Because Chesney had a lot of praise for him when he was speaking about him.
I wouldn't say it's a problem, but we're going to have some things that we're going to have to stop. He's a downhill running team, so just making sure we stop the run first.
Yeah, are you kind of preparing for him similar to how you were preparing for Marion Hampton? Because Chesney was talking a little bit about how he brought up Hampton while discussing Hardy.
Somewhat, yes. Running team, so we got to just stop the run heavy.
Tyler, Tyler, obviously for you, a big week just the other week getting your scholarship. How did that feel in that moment post-game at UNC?
You know, it felt amazing, honestly. You know, like all that hard work just being able to pay off and, you know, take a little burden off my parents. So it was really cool. But I think the coolest part was that a lot of my teammates had no idea that I was even a walk-on or anything. So that kind of meant a lot. It just meant like they appreciate how much I bring in practice every day and, you know, how hard I work. So it meant a lot to me, and it meant a lot to my family as well. They were super excited and happy for me. So it was an awesome day. But more importantly, it was about that win that we got against UNC that week. I was just really happy that we won and we're continuing to dominate everything else. Yep.
When Coach Senior started talking in that moment, how long did it take for it to click that was where it was going?
When he started talking about like the first downs and some getting first downs, I'm like, I was like, is he talking about me? I'm like, I didn't even do that much in the UNC game. There was, Zoe and Terrence Spence obviously had played a great game. I was like, there's no way it's going to me. And then I kind of put it together, and it was just truly a spectacular moment. You know, I have just such a close relationship with Senior, and it's like he's like family to me, and so it meant everything that he was the one to be able to announce that news for me. So it was awesome. It was an awesome moment for me.
Does anything change in your day-to-day now? Do you feel like there's a different kind of mindset that you may have, or just like your energy feel different now that you're on scholarship?
I don't know. You can ask DJ, but I'm gonna bring it the same day in practice. So talk crap to everyone, you know, bring the energy up. Like it doesn't change anything, I don't think, honestly. If anything, it might make me work like a little bit harder just to know that, but maybe take a little bit, just keep that same chip on my shoulder that I've been having, just knowing that, you know, not a lot of people really have believed in me throughout my recruiting process. And so, but no, I really don't think it'll change much for me. It's just, we got to keep attacking every day, like it's the same way, and just be grateful that we get to play the game that we love with the people that we love.
When Coach Chesney was in here, he was talking about how you were up in the press box during the bowl game prep, just kind of observing and watching. What intrigued you about this opportunity to come here, especially considering that you had a good thing going at Holy Cross and Coach Chesney leaves, and you like to come down here where essentially nothing is guaranteed or promised to you?
No, I think it's really just comes down to the relationships that I built with Coach Chesney and Coach Kennedy, Coach Kanan. You know, like I said earlier, like they're like family to me, and I know they believed in me and they trust me. And so I knew that they told me when we came down here and I came and saw the stadium and I saw the whole campus, it really just felt like home, and I really thought we could do something special. And I think I really wanted to come down and help him try to establish what we had at Holy Cross, because I just know what we had at Holy Cross and the culture that we had was something really special. And so they already had the winning culture here at JMU, obviously winning a ton of football games, but I think wanting to come down with Coach Hezzy and really establish that family and selflessness mentality that we had at Holy Cross is something that he wanted me to come down with him, and it meant a lot for me to do that. So I was truly honored when he asked me to come, and so it was an easy choice for me at that moment.
When you start your college career as a DB and then they come to you and say, hey, we want you to try the offensive side of the ball, move to running back, what do you think of that?
Hey, I'm a football player first. I don't have a position or anything. Like if they wanted me to, they came out on Tuesday's practice like, hey, we want you to play safety, come down and blitz. I'll be stoked for it. I'm like, I'm excited, man. I played everything in high school, so whatever they want me to do, I'll do it. And so, yeah, I came into Holy Cross as an athlete, and so I started at receiver, actually, and then week before camp, they're like, hey, you're going to actually move to strong safety. And then after freshman, they're like, yeah, we're going to put you back over on offense. And they're like, you want to play receiver, running back? I'm like, looked at the running back room. There wasn't many people there. I'm like, I'll try running back. Let's do that. And so I just love playing football, man. So wherever I had the most opportunity, wherever the coaches need me to play, that's where I was going to go.
Is there a position you haven't played?
A position I haven't played? I think I've touched all the positions I think I could play at a decent level. Like, I'm not going to go down and play corner, nickel, DJ. I hate covering people, man. Don't do that. I'll stay in the box and hit people. But, no, there's a position that, yeah, corner, I would not want that position. And then I played quarterback growing up, but not quarterback either. I don't got the arm strength for that.
What's it been like playing with this offense? Because it seems like if it's not you, it's GP or AO or it's any of the receivers. 8 different guys caught passes this weekend. What's it been like playing for that offense, playing for Coach Kennedy? Yeah,
I just don't think, like, a lot of the guys on the offense, we don't have big egos. Like, whoever's got got the hot hand, like we're just going to deal with. And then I think Zoe does a great job of distributing the ball to whoever's open. Like like I said, yeah, like there's no egos. We all are rooting for each other. Want to do, like Ymir had a great first breakout game with him having 2 touchdowns, and he works so hard, and Coach Kennedy's been pretty hard on him at times just because of how talented and how young he is. But I mean, he's stepped up so well, I thought, and he obviously his hard work is all paying off now. So it's been really great, and I think just predicated on selflessness within our offense and just distributing the ball to all of our different weapons that we have.
You think Coach Kennedy's offense for a year up until the season? I'm curious, like back into the offseason when they were still installing, how did you maybe help the backs adjust to his scheme at all?
Yeah, so I just, whatever way it could be a resource, whether I was just staying back with those backs and helping them get to know, like, it was mostly just the playbook stuff, honestly, and get them to know, like, hey, like, if you guys are confused with the protection, because that's one of the bigger problems that we have with running backs, it takes a lot of thinking, is kind of our pass protection and the way Coach Smith likes it, and so it's a little bit different than what they originally had. So just meeting with them and going over kind of that pass protection, who we have, like who we're responsible for, and what type of formations and the different fronts that the defense can come out in. That's kind of the way I most help, just getting those guys really with the playbook, I'd say. And they've done a great job. They're a really smart group, I think, especially GP, and then Io has done a great job being a leader for us as well.
There's been a lot of player development. Do you think you've seen Coach Kennedy maybe develop as a play caller a little bit? Y'all made history last weekend against it.
Yeah, I mean, I really think he has, and I think he's just done such a great job developing, I think, Alonzo as well, though, and just I think him moving from the press box to the sideline and just making him kind of feel more comfortable and make in-game adjustments on the sideline, telling him what he's seeing has really helped us a lot. And I think that's kind of the biggest difference is like those in-game kind of adjustments that Coach Kennedy has done a great job doing, and I love playing for him, and we all like really bought into him and what he's doing, I think, now.
Yeah, I mean, Barnett's only gotten picked off like one time. Talk about how careful he's been with the ball as of late.
Yeah, like you guys were talking about earlier, the turnover margin's huge for us, and that's like one of the main things we strive ourselves on is ball security in practice and in drills, and making sure that we don't turn the ball over. And I think Zoe's done a great job with his decision making. Like I think Coach Kennedy said, he's been in a position room with Kyle Trask and Anthony Richardson, some NFL guys, and Alonzo he said, like, this is the smartest quarterback room he's ever been a part of. And so I think that really speaks volumes to how good of a decision maker and how smart of a football player Demo and Alonzo are.
Outside of a game against Texas, ULM's defense has been pretty stout so far this year. What have you seen from them in prep so far? Yeah,
like you said, they don't give up many points, and so we're gonna have to come up with things on offense to try to put up points. They do a good job, like having some unique blitzes, I think, and they do a good job switching from 3 down to 4 down with their fronts. So we're definitely gonna have to come up with some things, but I think just doing what we've been doing the past 2 weeks is going to be enough. I know Coach Kennedy is going to put us in the right position for us to score a lot of points. So, I mean, whatever they come up with the game plan, I think we'll be ready for them to go. We see something that they haven't seen yet.